Good morning, day one. It's September 29th, Superior Hiking Trail. I just hiked up from the trailhead. It's a little over a mile, took half an hour. It's 8:30, the 29th September, and I'm gonna go up to the top of the 370 overlook here. I don't think I'm gonna see much because it's pretty hazy. So my son Dave dropped me off. We stayed in Grand Portage and it took about 45 minutes to get to the trailhead. It's pretty well marked. Trail's been all uphill to here, but nice, well kept. Oh, we are going to get a view. It's a little foggy, but we'll start over here. Oh, Canada. Beauty, eh? And we come over here, and it's Minnesota. You betcha. So, day one. My phone actually says 9:30, which is interesting because I believe it's 8:30. But look at that beautiful river. So, those miles didn't even count. But it lets you know if you did your homework or not. And now I'm ready to go. And I only got 300 miles to go. Let's get rocking, I think. It's going to be beautiful. Look at that. So nice. Broke a little sweat, didn't have to stop. I did my homework. Just got back to the trailhead where Dave dropped me off. This is what it looks like. There's parking here for maybe half a dozen vehicles, but the river's to the left, so I would call this the west side or north side, however you think about it. But that's what the trailhead looks like to start Superior Hiking Trail. A little muskrat going into the weeds. I guess that counts as wildlife. Seen 2 grouse and a muskrat. Woohoo! And a little beaver dam. This is my Otter Trailhead. Anyway, Otter Lake Trailhead. This is the parking lot for that. And Superior Hiking Trail goes off that way. Surprisingly, I mean, this one's only an 1/8 mile from the other one, but between the two, there's not much marking. Basically, you cross the river, and so if someone's dropping you off from the lake, if you're coming up directly from the lake, more from the north, up, I don't know what road it is. Basically, you want to be on the west side of the river to get dropped off and then hike back up here. Anyway, I know this trail is really well marked, but surprisingly, in between, you basically, whichever way you go, you gotta cross the bridge, and then you'll figure it out. Here's grouse number 4. He's right by the pine. See him hiding up in there? Right there. Bacon. Not very far along the trail if you're northbound, and not too far from the end if you're other way around. Anyway, it's not too far from the north terminus. I'm loving this trail. It's just cutting through huge forest where you have your nice little trail, but then every direction is just nothing but forest. And they've done a really good job of keeping this open. I haven't stepped over a single deadfall yet. It's late morning, first day. Not sure There'll be times, but look at this. It's pretty cool. This spot's like a little tunnel. And then it'll change, open up a little. Just beautiful. Well, it's almost noon. Just got to the highest point, so that must mean it's all downhill from here. I just came from there, and I'm going there. And evidently it's going to be downhill. There's thunder, which wasn't supposed to rain, but you know. I showed on, I kind of circled the climb up to here as steeper part of the trail. It actually wasn't bad at all. It was quite friendly and not rocky at all. So this first part of the trail so far has been very nice. I'm just loving this, and the leaves and the color, and so far just freaking awesome. Found myself a dandy little lunch spot. Take a little break. Got a nice little seat, and that's where I'm heading. I had to put on the rain gear. It wasn't supposed to rain. So far hasn't been bothersome. Spear hiking trail. Thought I'd talk a little bit just for a minute about why I do these videos. If you've lasted this long, at least I'm not boring you to death. I really do them for just a few reasons. The number one reason is so that I can remember the trail and all the different things that I saw, and go back, and I figure when I'm super old I can go back and watch them and remember every little part. Otherwise you tend to forget the little things. The second reason is I want to try and motivate people to get out and do this kind of thing. Even I didn't start long trail hiking. This is only my second one, so can't really call myself a long trail hiker yet. I did the Colorado Trail when I retired at age 60. Lucky. Yes, trail's hard. And now I'm doing this one at 63. I did try to do another long part the year after Colorado Trail, and ended up coming off trail because it was way too hot and not safe. I think it was about 110 degrees in the high desert of Wyoming. Anyway, that's another story. So I did find out that the video that I did for Colorado Trail motivated a few people to do it. The next year I was out there being a trail angel a little bit. I knew where people would camp, and I brought some stuff out there. And to my amazement, because I don't really try too hard as far as putting up content and everything else. I have no motivation for likes, or I don't do any gear things, or that's not why I'm doing it. My motivation is to inspire people to get up, and at any age. And you don't have to do a long trail. I don't care if you go to a local park, get off the couch and walk a quarter mile, and the next week maybe you'll walk a half mile, and then in 3 years maybe you'll be doing this trail, or 4 or 5, don't matter. Or maybe you won't. Just do you, but get out if you can and enjoy this. And that's really my main motivations. I do it in this format such that it also will help people thinking about doing this trail so they know what it's like. Sometimes, you know, you don't want to see too much of what you're going to see because you want to be surprised or whatever, but there's just so much that, you know, after watching my videos, you still got to come out and see it yourself. But I am going to do it in a format where I talk about some things on what you got to do a trail like this and that, and especially more so for newer hikers. Oh, hello. I don't know if I said it before, but usually people do videos where the trail is friendly, so don't be fooled when you see a bunch of friendly trail on everybody's video. Anyway, I want to do this such that if you're thinking about coming out and doing the spear hiking trail, that you'll feel a little more comfortable what the challenges are and what you need for gear. And I don't sponsor any gear, but I'm getting along with my gear good, and what you need for training and all that. So that's basically why I'm doing these videos. And I'm gonna stop just any old place. And when you're hiking this trail, a lot of times you have to keep your head down looking for roots and rocks. You just stop every now and then and look, and there's always something to see. It's always beautiful. So thanks for hanging in there. These videos won't be short, but hopefully if you're thinking about doing this trail, they'll help you figure out, yes, I can do it. Maybe not this year, maybe not next, but if I pay the fiddler and do what I need to do, I can do it. And pretty much I can do it at any age. Hellacious Overlook is what this is called. Beautiful tree right there. You can hear some geese off that way. I'm not sure it's named Hellacious because of the view or the trail to get here. Northbound going southbound. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was a climb. Beautiful. Huge swamp down there. You'd think you'd see a moose right out there. I can't see much through these glasses because it's been so misty. Oh. Hey, the sun's popping out for just a couple seconds here to give me a good shot of all these poplar and birch. I think when I get further south, we'll run into a lot more maple, but it's very green and yellow up here. Beauty. Not sure what this little pond is, but there's 3 swans. What a nice place to hang out. This is the next camp. I think the sign's right down there, but it's kind of cool. They got the beavers trained to haul wood up here for thru hikers. So thank you, spear hiking trail people, for that. The trail does make a sharp turn here. This is Caribou Pond Camp and goes that way, and it's kind of a little deceiving. There's no blaze, no sign, but sharp left if you're southbound. Well, there's Hellacious Overlook over there, and there's a different view of where I was looking earlier. Beauty. Up and down. First real good view of Lake Superior. That lower blue is the lake, the higher blue is clouds or sky. Have to admit that the last couple hours have been a little rough. Grouse 9 and 10 are in the trail. They're gonna go. Scampering. Yeah, they're just running. Cute. Check out that almost sunset. Beautiful. I'm a little behind schedule. I got about a mile and a quarter to go. So I might get set up in the daylight, but it might not be. Had some trouble with some cramping. I drank tons of water. I've drank 7 quarts and I've been hitting it with electrolytes really hard, but I determined I was short on salt, so I stopped and took on some salt with some chips, and I haven't had a cramp for a while now, so I think that did the trick. But anyway, it's been hard. I've been sweating pretty much all day, and that's probably why I ran low on salt. And I kind of changed up what I usually eat for the first couple days, so that's probably not helping. And we'll just take it as it comes, but that's sure pretty right there. And I gotta get cracking if I want to set up camp in any kind of daylight. Good morning, day 2. It's probably about 8:20. I got out of camp about 7:45. It rained from 5:30 to 6:30, just enough to wet everything down. I got into camp after dark, set up in the dark, and now I'm hitting it again. And grouse number 2 is on a log up here, but he's moving off, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to see him. It's nice out, but humidity's like 100%. Yeah, he moved into the thick in there from Mr. Red Squirrel. Anyway, day 2 starting out. We'll see how it goes. Legs feel really good, and had a little cramping bad last night, but not too much, so it wasn't too bad. Never had cramps on trail because I always taking care of what I need, but I failed a little bit yesterday. I think this humidity is just making you sweat slowly all day long. Here we go. Running, not flying. Oh well. Well, here's Hazel Camp. The last camp, I took a picture of the sign, but it was up a hill. And if it's off trail or up a hill, sorry, no tours. Oh, that's Hazel. That's day 2. I'm dropping down from Hazel Camp, dropping southbound down into Magney State Park. But I just wanted to throw out props that this is a long really nice section, actually very friendly. I've been dropping and it's like a 9-mile hike down into Magney. But someone has come all the way up here and they used a weed eater or weed cutter or whatever the heck, and both sides of the trail. So it's not rubbing against your legs, not rubbing against your thighs, not getting you soaked. And I mean, that's not easy. So that's volunteer or your donations to the Spear Hiking Trail at work right there. And this is a long, I mean, there's no roads. This is a long way to get up here to do that kind of work. And I just think it's freaking awesome. I just did a shout out a minute ago about the maintenance on this trail. And I might have forgot to, I'm not sure who does it. It could be the state park folks or people working for them or whatnot, and I hadn't named them, so I thought I'd better throw that out there. I don't know who's doing it, but thank you, whoever you are. It's about noon on day 2. I'm heading southbound, so I'm right around mile 23. But I want to talk about road walk. You listen to hikers doing long trails and they're all about, oh, don't like road walks. I'll tell you what, don't join that cult. I love me a good road walk. Now, I'm not saying I want to walk on a highway, but a dirt road out in the middle of nowhere where there's nothing but hard forest on both sides. There's a lot of things to love about this. This one happens to be 1.7 miles, which to me is like celebration. It's going up, but it's not going to be steep. It's free walking, so you can actually lift your head up and look around and see some things where otherwise a lot of times you have to stop because there's so many roots and rocks. So this is just free, easy mileage, and I like it. And a lot of trail people work hard to try and like reduce road walks. Well, tell you what, sprinkle a few in on a dirt road, especially if it's a remote. Of course, I haven't seen a car. I'll take it. I'll also say that I believe your odds of seeing a wolf or a moose are far greater. They'll cross in front of you, far greater on this road than on trail. So on trail you're making more noise and it's so thick you can't see in there. But if they're going from there to there, they gotta cross this. So there's a lot of things to love about a good road walk. I'm not joining that cult, especially if it's only 1.7 miles. Now 10 miles, tell you what, at age 63, I don't give a rip. I like it on trail, but I don't mind me a good little dirt road walk. Go ahead. Good morning. Day 3, southbound on Spear Hiking Trail. It's about 7:15 in the morning. Wow. Check that out. Woo. Anyway, day 3, dropping down the little Brule River. Just got out of camp, and yesterday went really well. Much better than day 1. Trails were friendlier. I'm starting to get sorted out my balance of water, electrolytes, and salt. So I'm boogieing along. Just went, there's 3 camps kind of up at the end of Little Brule, all nice. And a little further is Magney State Park, where I was able to get water out of a tap. And there was porcelain, and it was quite nice. And so, all great places. Heading down now, 2 to 3 miles, and get to do the lake walk, which I'm sure I'll enjoy, but I've heard it's hard walking on the beach, but whatever, it's only, I don't know, mile and a half. It'll just be nice to be walking along Lake Superior, and then get to climb right back up the ridge, and onward we go. So day 3 is going well, and that's where I just came from. That's where I'm going, and expecting a beautiful day. Little update this morning on animal count. First day I saw 12 grouse and 3 swans, and I think those were the major animals. Yesterday I saw 8 grouse and 2 deer, which is surprising, actually. I mean, there's tons of deer in Minnesota, but up here there's a pretty big wolf population. Nothing you have to be worried about for sure, because they want nothing to do with humans at all. But I don't know what the number is, but northern Minnesota's got like plus or minus 3,000, and I'm sure I'll get trashed if I'm way wrong, but there's a lot. And there used to be a lot of deer up here, but now there's not. Anyway, there's a few. And I got to see 2 whitetails yesterday, so that was good. And I think that was all the major animals. I have been seeing moose tracks. Camped with a very friendly lady last night, Melissa, and she had a big teapot she was carrying. So she didn't have a trail name, so we'll see if she adopts that one. Teapot, and shout out. First day I did 15 miles. Second day I did 17. And got a little earlier start this morning. We'll see what happens. I think it's a little bit harder day, but the trails have been much friendlier than the very first day. The first day had some very friendly parts, but there were some parts that were a little challenging because, you know, they can only do so much when there's a lot of rock and a lot of, I don't know, lookouts that you want to run up and you want to see the lookout, but there's a little price for that, which is fine. But, yeah, check this out. All along the trail, they just make it so easy. Anyway, that's kind of a little update of where I am. So thank you, Superior Hiking Trail Association. Good morning. Day 3 of Superior Hiking Trail hike. It's about 9 o'clock. This is my breakfast spot. Just beautiful. They call this the lake walk. It's about 1.5 miles along the beach. It's just awesome. Most of the time you're up in the hills above the lake. Got my cold coffee. It's about 65 degrees out. Just had a Cliff Bar with Skippy peanut butter on it. Doing good. I just love sitting here by the lake, breathing this air. The Lake Superior, once it gets into you, it's in you for life. Shout out to other people that know. Be Robin, Jeannie, Mary, Lyle, Jeanette, Shelly, Randy, my mom, and all those that have already passed. They all know that once you breathe this air, this is, yeah, you just never get over it, and you have to keep coming back. Anyway, awesome morning. Time to get moving. So, I wanted to get water from the lake, and there's no water for quite a ways, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it. So here's the plan. I'm going to lay right here, and I'm going to reach way down there with this bottle, and we'll see if I can get some water. Might get some rocks too, but that's okay. I'll pour them off. And so that's the plan. Here we go. Well, I got my water, and I did filter it, even though I know I don't have to out of Lake Superior. Grew up drinking right out of the lake, but I filtered it anyway, because you're supposed to. My plan, I give it a C-. If I would have been patient and just waited for the bigger waves, but I kept creeping down further and further, and then the big waves came in. Got shorts wet, one foot's a little wet, but I got my water, and on I go. I think I'm coming toward the end of the lake walk. Just a couple notes for people that are going to hike the trail or this part. There's a lot of campsites all along, so you can camp basically in the woods right next to the shore or right next to the beach, and there were lots of camps. I would also say that the north end, there's a rocky kind of out point, and you're walking on some rocks, a hard rock, and I think I could have easily got water there by just bending down off of a piece of rock, but I didn't think of it, didn't look, and so I'm not 100% sure, but I think it would have been very easy to get water there. And I also, a lot of people talk about how hard this lake walk is. It really isn't. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, if you take your time, take really short steps so your feet stay flat, and you'll walk through this no problem. And it's so worth it. Yeah, awesome. Bunch of deer here. I would imagine in the spring you'll see deer here because they're kind of shedding their winter coats. But this one fed somebody else in this world, and probably animals, and we're only about a half mile, quarter mile from Highway 61. So I think that's probably what did this deer in. Anyway, Nothing goes to waste. Somebody got a meal. Little snaky. Looks like a gardener snake, but more with red belly and red stripes, so not so sure. This is Kimball Creek campsite, and the bridge going across the creek is over there. It's about a block in. And normally I just do a quick shot. I'm having lunch here. Normally I wouldn't come off trail to show you a site. There's a pad there, and then maybe another one there. But I did want to say that right down there is a pretty nice pad. And so if you're coming in and thinking about this one, it's right by the creek, and the latrine is right up the hill, which is a tad sketch to get to, but it works. Good afternoon. It's 2:47, day 3. Oh, it was a long up, but then up, I don't know, might still have to go more. But the last few miles have been a lot of little up, down, up, down, up, down, but so steep that you're pulling up and pulling to stop yourself going down. And I'm just soaked. So, been hitting the water and electrolytes a good little bit, but I'm hoping things are going to change looking ahead here. I see a lot of blue sky and not a lot of green above me, so it's maybe going to straighten out. But yeah, this last little bit's been, I am just soaked, and it's been a little harder. Well, still going up and down a good bit, but I thought for new hikers out there I would talk, or even semi-experienced, but whatever, whoever you are, talk a little bit about training for this. I did, as I mentioned, the Colorado Trail 3 years ago, and when I trained for that trail, I put on about 250 miles in preparation, and basically wherever you're starting from, you just start building up. For this year, I was trying to lose some weight, and I wanted to put on a lot of miles, so I started walking the icy dirt roads of Minnesota in the winter in January. And I started with a mile because I had been kind of slack in December. A mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, and just slowly built up. And if you're starting from zero, you know, whatever it takes, go a block, and next day go 2, and then next week go 4, whatever. It might take a bit, but you just keep building her up. Anyway, what did I do this year? Like I said, I wasn't even sure I was going to do this trail. I was kind of training for a trip out to Colorado where I knew I was going to be going up into the flat tops at 11,000 feet and carrying a heavy pack. And so I was kind of training for that. And the training went so well. And I stuck to it. And I lost some weight. I decided, well, oh, this looks wonderful. This is when you should be using your poles to save your knees. And right there is where you should be using your poles to save your legs. We'll talk about poles later, which will also be a long discussion because there's way more to it than you would think. Okay, up we go. This is kind of the way it's been. Anyway, training. So this year, I put in 450 miles before I started the trail, which is a lot. You do not need to put in 450 miles to do this trail. But that being said, whatever you put in, you'll greatly appreciate it once you get here, because if you're in shape, better shape, you'll enjoy the trail just that much more. So for a lot of them miles, we're just walking the dirt roads, building up my mileage, and you slowly build up. When you start feeling, so say you just started and you get into 3 miles and you're really starting to feel like, oh my God, I could go all day. I feel like a beast. That is when you want to put on the brakes. And when you start feeling like a beast, you want to stay at that point for a week or two, because that's when you're going to get injured, because your big muscles are feeling like, oh man, I could go forever, but your little muscles aren't ready. The little foot muscles, a little more on training. You can start on a path or whatever, dirt roads, but eventually you want to walk off path. Don't put a lot of miles on the bike trail or on the sidewalk, because that's really hard on those little muscles, and they're not really getting a workout. If you need to, just walk in grass or in the lumps on the side of the trail and work out those little muscles. So I put in a lot of miles and with NoPack, and you don't have to worry about speed, none of that. But what I would do is track how far you're going, how long it's taken, do the same route, and you'll see improvements. The other thing that's really cool, if you have a smartwatch, track your heart rate, track your resting heart rate, and you will be amazed after working out for a month or two, just walking, your resting heart rate's going to drop. And that means you're more healthy. You might not have lost weight. You'll feel a little better. You'll feel it. But your resting heart rate's low. And when you're losing weight, first weight you lose is around your organs. That's what I've heard. So I didn't start carrying a pack until pretty late in the summer because it was too hot. And I didn't start hitting hard hills until about a month before I came out here. And then I was hitting the hardest hills I could find in my area, which were hard to find. Yep, down and up. If I wipe out without my poles, then you'll know what not to do. So anyway, I went out and I tried to find the hardest hills I could, and up and down with pack. Doesn't have to be a full pack, but with some weight. Get your pack adjustments made. Make sure your pack's feeling good. Make sure you're hydrating. All of that. And just put on miles. Even if you're not training for a long trail. If you're just wanting to get in better shape, doesn't matter how fast you're going. There's always going to be somebody faster. And it doesn't matter how far you're going. There's always going to be somebody going further. It just don't matter. Oh, this looks like fun. Well, this will give me a chance to. This is going to be a long little section, I guess. Just get out there and put on some miles and prepare, because if you don't, you'll be knocked off trail. So you'll never be fully ready to just walk up something like this without getting tired. But if you train enough and you take really little steps, see those little 6-inch steps, you'll be able to walk up something like this and kind of talk at the same time. Although this video is going to end now. The thing is, just put on as many miles as you can. You don't have to be a superstar. When you start feeling like a beast, stay there for a while and then build up and just keep going. Okay, looks like a little more friendly section, but we'll see. Anyway, just a couple more words on training. I don't want to beat it to death, but whatever your goal is, I mean, that's kind of the idea behind why, one of the ideas why I do this video. Yeah, well, it ain't up, but it's wet. Is try and motivate people to get out and just see this stuff. Look at this nice little tunnel through the trees. It's beautiful. And whatever your goal is, if you just build up to it, you can do it. Get out there. I am 63. I've hiked my whole life, just day hikes like people do. But my first thru hike I did after I retired at 60, and it was really hard. But I would not want to have not done it. And even a shorter 5-mile hike, 7-mile hike, there's a lot of cool hikes out there. If you can only walk around the block, you walk around it enough times. I call it anti-aging. I'm younger now than I was 5, 6, 7 years ago. And the reason is I just kept building up. I'll leave it at that. You can do it too. And yeah, hopefully get out there and kick it in gear. Whew. Well, I'm at some sort of top. That's where I'm going. You gotta appreciate the designer of the trail, really. I do. Feels like I've been going uphill all afternoon, because I have. I did the lake walk this morning, way down there. Can't even really tell where the lake starts, but it's on the other side of the tree line down there. And right there you can see an island out in the lake. I don't know if you can see it, I can. Anyway, yeah, do the lake walk and then send somebody up to the top, a bunch of somebodies, so they can appreciate this lake from both perspectives. And yeah, the first camp I come to, I'm probably going to pull in, or at least take a look, because I'm about toast. That's where I came from. That's where I'm going. And unless something changes drastically, it might even be downhill. Late afternoon, day 3. Just a little while ago, I thought I was kind of at the top, but that'd be a no. It went up a little more and then it dropped a little, but now it's been climbing again ever since. I am broken now, but this is really kind of, you know, you want to be honest. This is the forced march part of a long trail where you're broken and you just keep going. I haven't looked at the map to see how much further I have to go, but I am going to look pretty soon because I have to gauge. I still got probably 2.5, almost 3 hours of daylight, so I think I've got quite a ways to go yet. But that was a long climb. I'm pretty broken. Doing okay. The trail is, even though it's still mostly going up, it is friendlier. And but this is reality. I'm going to get into camp. Yep, still going up. I'm going to get into camp broken and 4 ibuprofen. God's grace. Tomorrow morning I'll get up and be ready to do it all again. And that's kind of how it is. It's a forced march with a lot of cool people to meet along the way and a lot of really good sights and quiet time in woods. But the reality of it is, if you're doing a long hike, it's hard. It's a forced march. Yes, it's an adventure, and I'm going to talk about this probably in the future. Ooh, nice little cool spot and smooth. But it is a challenge, and that's the way to look at it. It's a challenge, and it's a forced march with some really cool things mixed in. Well, it's 4:42, and this is where I'm staying, Woods Creek. And I'm going to hang out here. Here's a little tip. When you first walk into a campsite, drop your pack on the best site you see, because you don't know if there's 5 or 6 people right behind you. Then look around and see if there's better. But there's hardly been any, I haven't hardly seen anybody today, so it's not going to happen here. But on busier trails, boom, I'm going to sit right there, and it's right by the creek, so I'll be able to listen to that all night long. It's going to be awesome. Recuperate.